Hi Tauruses, welcome to July, and in this video I'm gonna talk about the transits in July. We have an interesting month ahead of us, so let's see. Right at the beginning of July, we have the conjunction of Sun and Mercury. Actually, this conjunction happens on June 30th, but yeah, it's still active on July 1st. In my previous video, in June horoscope, I mistakenly said that this conjunction happens on July 1st, but I was mistaken. It happened on June 30th. So yeah, anyway, this conjunction happened in your communication house, in your third house. Okay, third house rules our communication, our neighborhood, our siblings, the way we communicate. So yeah, and then so the sun, it is our heart, it is our ego, our consciousness. Okay, and Mercury is communication, words. So the conjunction of those two might mean that you will be like communicating regarding those third house matters, like maybe about your siblings, your neighbors. So yeah. What else? Now, on July 3rd, we have a full moon on the 11th degree of Capricorn. So for you, that is your ninth house. Ninth house is our beliefs, our morals, okay, our religious philosophy. What else? It rules faraway lands. It rules travel, higher education. Okay, it rules basically the big picture, not like the details, but the big picture. Yeah. So the moon will be illuminating that house. Yeah, and because it's a full moon, you have the moon in your ninth house and the sun in your third house. So yeah. So for you, the stuff that is ruled by those houses is gonna be lit up somehow. So your morals and your beliefs, and then your communication, your thoughts, they're gonna be in like a tug of war, so to speak. But this is not a bad full moon, so don't worry. This is not gonna be like something super bad. No. Actually, this full moon is much better than the full moon we had in June in Sagittarius. Remember, the June full moon, there were two tense aspects, T-square aspects in the sky on that day. So yeah, you might have felt the tenseness of that. Like, if not on the day of the full moon, maybe a couple of days after that or a couple of days before that. Yeah. For me personally, I really did feel the intenseness of that full moon. Yeah, like 3 days after the full moon. Yeah, it was terrible. But this full moon, hopefully, it should be good. And so it is making a good trine to Jupiter. Okay, in your sign actually. Yeah. On the like, so Jupiter is in Taurus and the moon is gonna make a trine. That is a good aspect. Jupiter, it's a benefic. Okay, it's a very positive planet. Next, also the ruler of this full moon, Saturn, is gonna be making a sextile to the full moon. Yeah, so when the ruler of the full moon makes a positive aspect, that's extra good. Yeah, so, and this full moon is happening right before July 4th, so it should bring that festive mood. Okay, full moons are the times of like our emotions being full. Imagine the tides, the water, there's lots of water, right, when there's a full moon. So yeah, and we are 80% water, so yeah, our emotions should be full. It can be a good time for like July 4th parties. Yeah. And then so this is it for the full moon. And then let me mention this, it is happening on the 11th degree of Capricorn. So those of you who were born in early May are gonna feel this the most. Okay. Now, what else did I need to mention? This is not a lunar eclipse, so don't expect some major culminations. It's gonna be like some minor culminations. Okay. Yeah, regarding those ninth house matters, travel, publishing, philosophy, education. Yeah, so those themes are somehow gonna be like prominent in early July. Yeah, expect like some minor culminations. And then on July 6th, like the mood can be a bit tense because we have a T-square involving Moon, Venus, Mars and Uranus in your sign. Okay, Uranus is in your sign. So but thankfully this aspect, the tense aspect, will last only for 1 day because the moon moves quickly. It spends only 2.5 days in one sign. So yeah, it's gonna last for 1 day, but you might feel this effect. Yeah, since it involves a planet in your sign. But anyway, on July 9th, we had the last quarter moon in Aries on the 17th degree. So last quarter moon means like we are wrapping up all of the stuff that was brought by the new moon in Gemini in June. Okay, so take this time to recharge your batteries, sort of like get ready for the new moon in Cancer that's gonna happen on July 17th. Don't expect to start anything major. Don't expect like some new decisions to arrive until after the new moon. So take this week before the new moon to relax, to recharge your batteries. Like I'm gonna give you an example. In May, like I was having some problems and I found some gig that I thought I could do, and the thing is, I decided to start all of this in the last quarter moon, and guess what? Nothing happened. Like I packed all of my stuff, but somehow I couldn't find a way to get to that place. There were delays, and eventually I ended up not doing it. Yeah, by the time new moon arrived, I was like, it was obvious that it's canceled. So yeah, don't expect anything new to start until after the new moon. What else? Mars enters Virgo until August 27th on July 10th. So Virgo, it's your fellow Earth sign, and it's going to enter your fifth house. So all the fifth house matters are going to be activated because Mars is the planet of energy. It's like, imagine an engine on airplanes. It makes the airplanes move, right? So yeah, all of the fun house and fifth house things are going to be activated. So fifth house is like fun, your hobbies, your children, the things that bring you joy, basically. Yeah, it's the house of sun. And yeah, imagine how you feel when you're in sunshine, like on a beach, on a vacation. That's all fifth house energy. Yeah, so you can expect probably getting more active about your hobbies because it's summertime. I know Taurus is like gardening, so you might enjoy doing gardening stuff. So yeah, and then what else? July 11th, Mercury enters Leo until July 28th. It's gonna spend slightly more than 2 weeks in your fourth house. And so yeah, fourth house rules our home, emotions, family. So you might get more communicative with your family. Yeah, because Mercury is communication, and Leo is your fourth house. It's your family house. So yeah. And then on July 17th, we have the new moon in Cancer on the 24th degree of Cancer. So Cancer for you, that's your third house. So yeah, Tauruses who were born like in mid-May, like May 12th, May 13th, 14th, 15th, you guys are gonna feel this new moon the most. Yeah, because it's gonna be making a sextile to your sun. Yeah, or Tauruses who have a rising sign in like degrees around the 24th degree of Taurus, you guys are gonna feel this new moon. Yeah, so this new moon, so your communication house, maybe you will start writing more. Yeah, like I remember when the sun was like transiting my third house, I was writing a lot, like pages and pages. Yeah, so for you that might be the same. Like maybe you will be texting a lot, maybe you will be writing something, or maybe communicating, catching up with people. Yeah, and so what else? Maybe some news regarding your siblings. But again, this is not a solar eclipse, so don't expect like some major new beginnings, major transformations. So it's gonna be some like minor news, but still, news is news. And the thing is, this new moon is opposed by Pluto on the 29th degree of Capricorn. So yeah, this new moon is not as pleasant as the full moon in Capricorn on July 3rd. So Yeah, it can be a little bit tense, but new moons are not as moody as full moons. Again, I'm going to give you an example of the seas. When there's new moon, the water is very far away from the beach, right? The tide is low. I think is that what it's called? English is not my native language, so I don't know all the terms. I apologize about that. So yeah, we are not as moody basically when there's a new moon. And so this new moon is not completely bad, even though it receives that opposition from Pluto. There's going to be a trine from Neptune in Pisces, like another water sign. So yeah, this trine can act like a pressure valve for the opposition. So you can use your imagination, creativity to kind of like release the pressure of that Pluto opposition. And also, this new moon is receiving a sextile from Uranus in Taurus in your sign. So yeah, you could use probably like technology, because Uranus rules technology. Yeah, so you can use maybe social media, because internet, Uranus. Yeah, after this new moon. So yeah, new moons kind of like open a new page. It's like the start of a new month and new energies. So it's a good time to start new projects. You can expect news, decisions, announcements after this new moon. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but in my life and in the lives of many people, I pay attention, I observe, and yeah, the news arrive after the new moon. Yeah. And so don't feel frustrated if you are waiting for something and it's not arriving until like July 17th. Yeah. And Tauruses, I know you guys are patient, so yeah, you'll be fine. Next, on the same day as the new moon, we have North Node entering Aries. So yeah, remember, North Node has been in your sign for the past year and a half. That meant that the eclipses have been happening in your sign, and so it was a positive influence. When the North Node is in your sign, it brings positive changes. You are like on the favorable receiving end of the blessings, I guess, from the skies. Yeah, and so yeah, dear Tauruses, it must have been like really active, like 2 years for you, because you also have Uranus in your sign, and Uranus is like unpleasant. Yeah, it's like too many surprises from Uranus. And Tauruses, I know you guys like comfort, stability, and Uranus is anything but stability. Okay, so be patient. And now, what I'm trying to get to is that the North Node is now gonna enter your 12th house. So after all of the activity that was brought by the eclipses in your sign, now the focus is going to shift to your 12th house. And 12th house is the house of rest. Yes, it's the house of like isolation, but like not in a bad sense. So yeah, the focus is now going to shift to your rest. So take this year and next year to recharge, to regain your energies after all the exhaustion, all the hustle and bustle of like the eclipses. Okay, and now the last time North Node was in your 12th house was in 2005 and 2006. Try to think what happened then, like 18 years ago, because North Node takes 18 years to come back to the same sign. So yeah, try to think, did you go on a vacation then? Was it a pleasant vacation? Okay, yeah, like so all I can think about is like rest, and Tauruses, you guys deserve it. What else? Now, on July 22nd, Venus stations retrograde at 28 degrees of Leo. So yeah, it is your fourth house, and Venus is your ruling planet, by the way. Yeah, so this is an important retrograde for you. And so last time Venus was retrograde in Leo was 8 years ago, in 2015, like in August of 2015. Try to think what happened then, and what were you reevaluating. So your fourth house is your family, emotions, your home, the house where you live. Yeah, those themes are gonna be active again. Um, so yeah, I mean, yeah. So those themes are gonna be reactivated, but it's not gonna be the same, obviously. This time, this time Venus will be squaring Uranus. Okay. Last time it was trining Uranus, but this time it's squaring. So yeah. Uh, and I'm gonna make a separate video for Venus retrograde in July. And since Venus is your ruling planet, you will be reevaluating your values um, regarding family, I guess, regarding your home. You're gonna be reevaluating your relationships. Yeah, so if your relationship is stable and fine, there might be some like challenges that come up, but if your relationship is strong, it's gonna become even stronger after this. But if your relationship is kind of weak, you're gonna be like, okay, this is not for me. Like, I'm going to leave this. Yeah, so this is it. And then on the same day as Venus stationing retrograde, we have the Sun entering Leo. Yeah, so imagine the Sun is in the early degrees of Leo and Venus in the late degrees of Leo. Your fourth house is gonna be lit up. Yeah, so again, your home, your emotions, your family, those matters are activated, like with the Suns and enter into Leo. What else? On July 23rd, we have the exact square of Pluto to North Node. I mean, North Node has been squaring Pluto as soon as it entered Aries. So yeah, but like on July 23rd, it's gonna be like an exact square. And North Node is not really an actual planet; it's a point. Okay. So let me think. So your 12th house and your 9th house is making a square. So your house of travel, faraway places, um, education, those themes are activated. But yeah, okay. And on the same day, Chiron turns retrograde on the 19th degree of Aries. It's gonna be in your 12th house, and Chiron, as you guys know, this is the wounded healer, and 12th house is our subconscious. So you might be like healing something in your subconscious, like it's very psychological. Okay. Yeah, you might not even notice it, but you might be like realizing things and healing that, because Chiron, as I said, it's a wounded healer. It's gonna reopen that wound in order to heal it. Yeah, so be prepared. I mean, it's not gonna be like super major. You might not even notice it, but you will be realizing things about yourself, about your like subconscious, okay, and heal that way. So yeah, and what else? July 25th, so we have the first quarter moon. We had the new moon on the 17th of July, and now, so the first quarter moon is gonna be bringing like the first tangible results of that new moon. Yeah, so expect that. And on July 28th, we have Mercury entering Virgo until October 4th. Yeah, extended stay. It's gonna retrograde in Virgo in your in your fifth house. But that's gonna be in August, and I'm gonna talk about that in August. Okay. So yeah, that's about it for July. It's gonna be an active month, I would say. We have this favorable full moon on July 3rd, so expect like fun times, I guess. Like on July 4th, and then we have a T-square on July 6th. So don't be surprised if people are kind of on the edge or a little bit moody because of the T-square. But don't worry, it's gonna last for only one day. And then the last quarter moon. So after July 9th, take time to relax, recharge your batteries, and get ready for the new moon on July 17th. July 17th new moon, it's gonna be happening in your third house, so your neighborhood, short distance travel, your siblings, yeah, your communication. So those things are somehow activated. Yeah, it might be a good time to buy a new phone. Yeah, because third house is communication, and like phone is also associated with the third house. Yeah, and Mercury is strong this month. I mean, it was conjunct the Sun. It's still direct. Yeah, so it's a really good time to buy a new phone. Um, what else? Venus stations retrograde on the 28th degree of Leo in your fourth house. So yeah, get ready to reevaluate things. Okay, re-examine what is important for you, what kind of relationships are important for you. Okay, and also North Node leaves your sign and it's gonna enter your house of rest. Yeah, so now finally the focus the spotlight leaves you and enters the Aries. Yeah, so now you can finally relax. Okay, and what else? So the Sun enters Leo, as I said. mm, and so yeah, and the month ends with Mercury's enter into Virgo, your fifth house. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you guys a pleasant July. And if you like this video, please subscribe, and hopefully I will see you guys in August. Okay, bye.